You're listening.
You're listening.
You're listening
to the International Posit Podcast Network.
I don't know what he's doing with his life now, but I hope he's losing somewhere at Super Smash Brothers.
Whoa!
Oh.
Welcome to Three Guys, Three Questions, where three friends test the limits of propriety through the questions we ask. Today is the Nintendo World Championships, and this is episode 2 of season 5. This week, we're sponsored by 256 Colors, Rumble Packs, and
Sega.
I'm Aaron L.M. Goodwin, and I'm joined, as always, by Andrew Savage. Say hello, Andrew.
Hey, hello everyone.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Was that for us?
It's for everyone who can hear.
Oh, every time. Hey, I'm also joined by Adam, Player 2 Anderson.
Not even player 1.
Does that make you Luigi?
Nah.
Yeah.
Oh.
It means I have the Nintendo 64 controller with the stick that's all wiggly.
Oh, the one that's it's like mushy.
Yeah, the one that's been used way too much.
Like it just kind of hangs down.
Yeah, it just kind of flops around.
Got a little weird. Let's go to the questions. If you're new to the show, here's how it works. Each host asks a question, then each host gives their answer. Hilarity hopefully ensues, and we move on to the next question. I have today's first question, so I'm going to give that question unto you all. Are you ready?
I don't think so, but go ahead.
What's a game you enjoyed that most people don't know about?
So, I don't even remember the name of it. So if one of our listeners does, and they could let me know, that'd be amazing.
Ooh.
But it was this game where you played as the Tasmanian Devil.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that much about it. And it was on the Sega
Saturn, I think is what you're thinking.
It was the Sega Genesis. It wasn't on the Saturn because the Saturn came after that.
And because only 10 people bought it.
Yep.
Right. And you were kidnapped by Marvin the Martian. And I never got past the first level. So that's all I really know about it. But I enjoyed it immensely. And looking back at the memories of it, I'm like, why did I have so much fun playing this game? I'm pretty sure it was a terribly designed game with the world's worst controls. But I enjoyed it. So
I remember playing that game.
You do?
I think I remember playing that one too.
I also remember that it was really difficult. And those are the only things I remember about it.
I remember my level of quality as a child in video games was quite a bit more tolerant than it is now.
There are colors and I'm pushing buttons. That's all I really require.
Pretty much it.
Yeah. Wow. That's weird. I remember that. What if this is just a collective disillusion? We're all being hypnotized to believe in this game.
We're all remembering something that didn't actually happen.
Yeah, guys, reassure us. Please send us in if you've heard about this game and if you too have played it.
Like the Berenstain Bears thing.
What?
Did you hear about that?
Haven't you heard of that?
What?
Is it the Berenstein Bears? The Berenstein Bears? Isn't that what it is?
Yeah. So the Berenstain Bears, apparently it's spelled Stain, but a ton of people remember it being spelled EIN.
Oh, yeah.
And they're so sure that it was spelled like that.
That's how I thought it was spelled.
Yeah. See?
Weird.
I know, it's freaky.
That's so weird. Oh, wow. Well, okay. I think we've dug that one down as far as it'll go. Andrew, what's the game that you enjoy that most people don't know about?
Okay, so when I was younger, I played video games, but I didn't have a console, a home console, until I was a little bit older. I remember when growing up, everyone had Nintendo or Super Nintendo, and I got a Genesis right at the end, the Genesis cycles. But I did have a computer, and I played the computer a lot. And my favorite game growing up that I had to anxiously try to explain to my friends that were all playing Mario, which was a lot easier to understand. But my favorite video game was The Secret of Monkey Island.
Oh my gosh, it's such a good game. You gotta get that grog.
Yeah, and it was such a hard game to explain to my fellow elementary school attendees. They're like, I don't understand. Do you kill people? I'm like, no, you don't kill people. Well, you can die though, right? I'm like, no, well, you don't die. And like, what's the point? Well, you're trying to be a pirate. I'm like, well, that's the point of the game. You just play the game and you're a pirate. I'm like, no, that's not really what I mean. It's you gotta figure stuff out with puzzles. I'm like, oh, so you gotta think? I'm like, well, yeah, but it's funny. It doesn't sound funny. I'm like, well, you're wrong.
Yeah, but do you fight? No, you actually not per se.
You insult people.
You fight with insults.
Yes, it was a really hard game for for the other 10-year-olds to wrap their walnut around. And so, but it was my favorite because I loved it because it was funny and I loved the characters and the environment, and I felt like I was actually, exercising a muscle in my brain. And it wasn't just like, not that you don't need brain power to play Mario,
Right.
but yeah.
I loved Monkey Island. That was such a good game.
I'm gonna have to procure a copy.
The main character's name is Guybrush Threepwood. How can you go wrong with that? It was a LucasArts game, right?
Yeah, it came out in 91, I think.
LucasArts made some really weird little games.
That game is as old as I am.
Holy crap, why are you saying that? Shut up. Stop talking.
Oh, that makes me feel bad because I remember playing this game a lot.
That game is as old as I am, and I feel kind of old.
The thing I remember about Monkey Island is it taught me the meaning of the word browse.
Oh, yeah.
Because when you're in the store, one of the options was to say just browsing.
And you didn't know what just browsing meant?
I didn't know what it meant when I was younger because I was a kid.
Yes.
Do you remember other LucasArts games?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Do you remember a game called Loom?
I do remember Loom.
Yeah.
So Loom...
I only remembered that right now as we were talking about Monkey Island. I was all, oh my gosh, Loom exists!
Let me tell you the story when I played Loom.
Oh, yeah.
My
Just so you know, anytime you want me to get super excited about something you're going to say, just start it out with, let me tell you about the time I played Loom.
It could not even be about Loom. It could be something else. Like, oh, I'm excited.
I don't care. I'm in. I'm sold.
So we got my first copy of Loom because it came with our CD drive that we had to buy separately.
Uh-huh.
It cost $500 for the CD drive.
So crazy.
It was like 1992 or 3 or something like that. And it came with a bunch of free games, and one of it was a voiced version of Loom.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, this is awesome. And pretty much Loom is you're just this guy that uses weaving as a form of magic. And you have a staff that you have to memorize these like musical notes that do magic tricks or something so you can like interact with the world. It's really good and the music's really awesome, but it was a weird game.
You're like, to your character, all your character is a white hooded like cloak, like, I don't know, what would you call that?
I feel like maybe you're playing a game produced by someone else.
Like a monk or something.
Yeah, it's like a hooded monk cloak that's white, and you don't see your face. You're just two blue eyes.
How pointy is the monk's hood?
Not very.
It's not that. Like, all the songs were Southern.
Like, is it pointy enough to cause concern?
You gotta play like Dixie to get some magic thing to happen.
Set stuff on fire.
Oh, wow. So many memories. They're all coming rushing back. Yeah, wow. Okay, mine is a little game called Mr. Chin's Gourmet Paradise. And
is that racist? I can't tell.
It's a little ping pong. I don't think anybody know. I've never run into somebody who knows what this game is.
Is that what you learned about opening the kimono?
For the longest time, I thought that maybe I was the only person who ever owned this game. Because I have no idea where it came from. So I think it was my 8th birthday. I got a Game Boy, which was like amazing. and the Game Boy, it was like the original Game Boy, and it came with
oh yeah, I had one of those.
It came with this game. And it came in a little like fake leather box. You could have put your other games in and stuff like that. But it was like, I could tell it wasn't like Nintendo branded necessarily. Like, so that's why I was wondering if like it fell off a truck or something. And maybe this game wasn't really a real game. But
well, I know for a while Nintendo lost, they didn't license like the hardware for making cartridges. So anyone can make cartridges without having to go through Nintendo. So they had a lot of sketchy ones, mostly religious types, like religious games that didn't go through Nintendo.
Oh, I remember those.
And so
it's like you're Noah and you're rounding up animals and stuff.
And they're all terrible. But anyway, so there was a lot of games that came out that weren't licensed by Nintendo, but would still work on Nintendo consoles. So that might have been what it was.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this game, the purpose of the game, it's like a platformer, right? And your goal is to turn your enemies into food so that you can eat them.
What?
Okay.
And you don't necessarily, most platformers you run and you jump.
Yeah.
Right.
This one is more like you flap your arms to the side and fly, but you're not good at it. Like you're a very fat man who can kind of fly up, but gravity's really strong on you, if that makes sense.
It doesn't.
It is.
I love it.
I might not be remembering this right, but that's what I remember it was like. And yeah, you turn your enemies into like little sticky buns and peaches and stuff like that. And it's like all this little Chinese stuff. And yeah, you eat the things. It's it's pretty good. I used to play that game all the time, and I've never run into anybody who knows this game. That's it. That's all I have.
Yeah, I don't think I know anything about that game.
I'm watching a video of it now, and it's just.
Oh, there's a video.
Yeah.
Well, share the.
Oh, that music is dope. Oh man. I want to see if I'm right about the gameplay. Yeah, you kind of float when you jump. It's so weird.
What a weird looking game.
Yep. So there's that.
Is your score measured in kilocalories?
That's what it looks like.
Pretty sure.
Right now, this guy has got 1,400 kilocalories right now. So that's like a lifetime worth of calories.
Yeah, it's just funny because, like, I wonder what came first, my insatiable hunger or playing this game that taught me that advancement in life is about eating as much as possible.
Well, if the 90s Senate had anything to say, it's probably the video game's fault.
Tipper Gore would not like that game.
My question is, what game can no one beat you at?
Right now or as a youth?
You know what? You can take it either way. Whichever way is more interesting. Or least interesting, depending on whether or not I'm trying to sabotage this podcast.
Okay.
We're not entirely sure if that's the case.
I just wanted to introduce a conspiracy theory for the listeners.
Adam the whole time's a secret agent for some other podcast.
So there was a time in which I played a lot of Rock Band, and that time was like 5 years ago. But anyway, so I played a lot of Rock Band, and I was amazing at the drums to like where it was just like so good that people were like disgusted. Not necessarily like, oh man, he's too good. Like that guy needs help. He needs a life.
So you need something else to do.
You need a real drum set at this point because right now you're just wasting your time.
I just imagine people watching you play, and they're all like, one of them goes like, everybody watch this. Watch this. He won't even notice. They like quickly switch out. There's a hand that's not, you're not hitting anything with the drumstick for a moment. And they like replace it with like a baguette. And you're still just going. You're
like,
just so in the zone.
Like a chicken drumstick?
I'd feel like that was so convenient though. Like I'm just drumming, take a bite, drum, just drum, take another bite.
Yeah, when you think about it, why aren't more drumsticks edible?
Probably like the crumb factor, I feel.
I feel like the acoustics would just be terrible.
Yeah.
It'd just be like...
Nobody's ever used a baguette to make music.
Oh, I wouldn't say that.
Guys, I'm going on the internet. Musical baguette. Continue.
There's going to be somebody who's turned it into like a flute or something.
Probably not. But yeah, that was my...
Rock Band was like cool for a minute for me. But then I got over it really quick because everyone wanted to play the same like 3 songs all the time. And it was a hard game. I think drums is what I was the best at because it was the thing that most resembled an actual instrument. I couldn't do the guitar because like I would try to, like my mind would try to actually start playing the song. Like I'd be feeling around the frets and I'm like, that's not how this game works.
Man,
yeah,
I wish I was cooler than everybody else, just like you, Aaron.
You're not cooler than everybody else.
No, I do know what you mean though. Like, I guess they're releasing a new Rock Band this year, like the first one in 5 years.
Wasn't there a game that came out a while ago where it was just like you plug in like your actual guitar to an Xbox or something?
Oh yeah, it's called Rocksmith, I think.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Rocksmith.
It was a little complicated for people, so it didn't get very
I think the new Rock Band is on the Apple TV.
I believe that is what people were saying.
Yeah,
yes.
I think that's the new thing. So that won't be any good. Rock Band, yeah. I remember seeing you play that. You're really good at it, and it was like not fun to play with you because I always felt like we were holding you back.
That was the problem. And so
and that's the downside of becoming really good at a multiplayer co-op game, right?
Oh yeah, well, any
you can never find a team of everyone else to be as good as you.
It's like playing Street Fighter with someone who's like Olympic level Street Fighter, and you're like, well, this is not very fun for me.
Yeah. You and me, we all know. I don't know if Adam knows him, but we know a guy named Todd.
Oh,
who is like Olympic level Street Fighter.
Did I tell you?
Ridiculous at Street Fighter.
Todd sold me his Super Nintendo Street Fighter.
Oh, really?
He sold it. I have it at my house.
Oh, wow.
In California.
What?
I think that you need to squeeze the juices out of it and sell it.
Yes, some of the buttons don't work anymore, but it's good. Anyway,
when we were in a band, we used to take Street Fighter. We'd take a Nintendo and a little TV and Street Fighter with us and before the show, and we'd like have people play him. You know what I mean? But they had to pay $0.25, and if they lost, we gotta keep the $0.25 or whatever. It was like a way to earn a little bit extra money. I saw him lose maybe like once or twice. Ridiculous.
That's pretty crazy.
My game that no one can beat me at is a little less well known, I think, and it's called Kirby's Avalanche.
Okay, I'm sensing a theme with the games that you're choosing.
That they're really old?
Eating is the theme.
Oh man, it all makes sense.
Oh, dude, Kirby's Avalanche is awesome.
Does it have to do with eating? I don't remember.
I don't think Kirby's Avalanche. I know Kirby does,
doesn't he?
Yeah, so Kirby's Avalanche is like Dr. Mario meets Tetris.
It was a lot like
Kirby.
The game Dr. Robotnik for the Sega. It's just like
yes, it's like that game. But what's fun, what I really liked about Kirby's Avalanche is you not only do you try to get the things off of your screen, you know what I mean? It's a 2-player game, but what's really fun is that you can like throw things at your opponent to screw them up.
Oh, awesome. I love games that let me be a jerk to my friends.
Yeah, it's the best.
Because I mean, I don't have to come up with elaborate schemes like getting someone with the intelligence of a golden retriever to ask out a girl or something. I don't have to do anything elaborate like that. There's like the game provides me a platform to do this.
Oh my God.
Hey, that's a callback to the last episode.
I just feel like I'm under attack here. I don't know what I did to you, Adam. I don't know what I did, but I'm apparently very mean and fat. Yeah. It's a fun game. That's all. I used to play it a whole bunch on I played it on a simulator thingy-majigger on my Sega Dreamcast, actually. That's how I first learned about it. So it was only like a few years ago, but I used to play it all the time. It's a good game.
It's a good game. Here's the problem with the competitive multiplayer game, especially in my house, because we played a lot of Mortal Kombat.
Oh, yeah.
The problem is Mortal Kombat becomes real combat very quickly with me and my brother. It's just a few moments away. It's just such heated. We had no like real reason to be angry except for someone used the same move over and over again. Like that's cheap. No, it's not. Fighting. it's just what would happen. So we were like, oh, we can't do that too much because if not, we played a lot of Dr. Mario. I loved that game.
Yeah, that was fun. Adam, what's your game that no one can beat you at?
So growing up, I don't know so much about now because I haven't played it in a long time. But like, it was a formative experience of my childhood. So I have a feeling like it's something that's never gone away from me. But nobody could beat me at GoldenEye 64. I was so good at that game.
That was a good game.
When's the last time you played it?
It was years. It's been years. It's been a long time.
I played it recently. It does not hold up. It is not as good.
Yeah, I played it a couple years ago and I was all, what?
It is not as good as you remember it to me.
My legs made out of molasses?
Why can't I turn my waist at the speed of a small turtle? It just takes forever to move. Just hold on to those memories. Like, cause
don't ruin them with reality. Just keep the memories.
Just keep the memories.
But I mean, my brother would get so mad at me. He'd be like, "You're cheating, Adam." I was like, "No, I don't. You can't cheat in the multiplayer. Like, you can't." He's like, "No, you put in a code. Like, there are no codes." You just
You
suck
can
at the
cheat a
game.
multiplayer. You can look at his screen. Didn't know where he's
Well,
at.
I mean, that's the extent of it.
Did you ever put like the cardboard between the two screens?
Oh my gosh, that's getting crazy.
We had to do that once. We're like, no, this is not cool. So we had to put it up and like put a blanket on the bottom or the side of it or something.
So
You're screen looking. No screen looking.
So I brought a bunch of my GameCube games with me out here to college, but I kind of just put them in a shelf and forgot about them. And we got a new roommate recently, and he was just kind of looking, see what was there. And he was like, "Oh my gosh, you have Soul Calibur 2." And I was like, "Oh yeah, I have Soul Calibur 2. I haven't played that in a long time." And he was like, "I love this game so much. Let's play." And I was like, "Okay." And he was super excited. And then we played, and I crushed him. And we haven't played since. And I kind of
And now it is back under its shelf.
now it's just going back on the shelf. I'm like, "Oh, I wish I wasn't good at things."
I was really good at, I think it's called, it was another 007 game for the GameCube. I think it's Agent Under Fire.
Yeah, I remember that.
That one is like GoldenEye on crack.
Yeah.
But basically, I spent a year of my life being a bum in between high school and going on a mission. And almost all I did was play this game with friends. Like all day, every day. It was really bad.
Oh my gosh. We over here we play a lot of Smash Brothers. I don't know if you heard of the game.
I never liked that game because it's a real button masher.
You're a real button.
Here's the thing though, is like we have gotten to such skill and magnitude that it's like ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's just like we're not those type of people that go to championships or anything like that, but we totally are. Pretty much is the case.
But you could.
And I'm not very good, but some people are really good, and it's like really upsetting sometimes. But I guess it's all's fair in love and Smash Brothers, I guess. So let me ask you guys, what was your most frustrating experience from a game?
Speaking of button mashers, I used to love a game called Marvel vs. Capcom.
Still a pretty good game.
Yeah, way good arcade fighting game. And I used to go to a little pizza place out here known as John's Incredible Pizza. It's a real authentico rustica or pizza cuisine.
Let's be honest. Like, if the Roman Empire and their gluttonous attitude had a pizza place, it'd be John's Incredible Pizza.
I believe there's a peanut butter and jelly pizza. There's like nacho pizza.
It's all you can eat pizza with televisions in all the rooms, just blaring at you.
Yeah, it's like an adult Chuck E. Cheese meets Golden Corral buffet
with a regular Chuck E. Cheese.
There's part of it is an indoor bumper cars. Like,
yes.
Oh my goodness.
Now,
did you not ever go there when you lived there, Adam?
No.
You should have gone.
Yeah, I'm sorry you didn't know about this.
I feel like we should have taken you there.
I was busy.
We all know that's a lie. So, John's Incredible Pizza, the thing is, they had a party entrance because it's one of these places where they had kids parties all the time.
Uh-huh.
Well, when I was a teenager and a terrible person, you can learn about that from last week's show. I used to be like, party entrance? I like to party. And me and my friends would just go through the party entrance and we'd point into the distance like, oh, hey, yeah, like we're going to see somebody.
Oh, yeah.
And so they would just let us walk by because, those guys are going to the party. And then they had busboy stations in the public, like you could easily see them because there was so many different rooms and stuff like that. And so I would just lean over to a busboy station and pick up a receipt from another customer that was in the trash. And then I would take it and I would go sit down with my receipt and then eat pizza and play arcade games.
How is this not your most selfish story from last week's episode?
I wasn't hurting anybody except for Incredible John.
And he's still around. He's doing okay.
Yeah. It's a bad thing. I know. It was bad. But yeah, I used to play that game all the time. And then one day there was this little kid who was maybe like 9. And he came up and he asked me, he's like, can I play? And I was all, I don't know, kid. I don't think you'll have much fun. And he was like, I want to play. I was like, all right. And he played Mega Man. and kicked my butt. And I was like, all right, obviously this is a fluke. So I played him again. And about $20 later, I'd wasted $20 and lost every single game to this little 9-year-old kid.
Dude, that's karma from Incredible John.
Yeah, they got their money out of me somehow.
They hired a guy to come in and say, "Hey, we need our money back."
Oh, but yeah, that's my story of I was pretty frustrated of being beaten by a little 9-year-old because everyone started making fun of me and stuff.
Yeah, that sounds terrible.
That's it.
My story is pretty similar, and it reminds me of something I haven't thought about for a long time. So when I was a kid, I can't remember how old I was. I wasn't very old. I wasn't that old at all. I was probably like 5 or 6 or something. So I wasn't old enough to be on my own.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe I was a little bit older. I was like, maybe it was just before I was old enough to be on my own. Doesn't matter. Anyway, so my mom would go to the gym all the time, like in the summer.
Yeah, she would.
And I would have to go with her because I couldn't stay home alone. And so she would take me to like a little gym daycare thing. And in that daycare, they had this side room that just had a TV and a Nintendo 64 in it.
Can I just stop you right there?
What?
Side room to a gym daycare sounds like a terrible place to have been. It's not even the main part of the gym daycare. It's not even the gym daycare, and it's not the gym. It is the side room to the gym daycare.
I'm pretty sure side room to the gym daycare is Panic at the Disco song.
It's just neglect followed by neglect followed by neglect.
It's just despair all the way down.
Okay, anyway,
so they had a Nintendo 64 in there, and that Nintendo 64 had Super Smash Brothers.
Oh man.
And there is this child there who was younger than me, but so much better than me at Super Smash Brothers. And he and I would like meet every day, and every day I'd be like, today's the day. And today was never the day. I don't know what he's doing with his life now, but I hope he's losing somewhere at Super Smash Brothers.
Whoa!
Oh.
I bet things didn't turn out so well for him. And you know why I think that?
What?
Because he was at the side room to the gym daycare. How could have things turned out really good?
He obviously didn't get hugged enough, and probably
he's probably just out there turning down jobs left and right.
Unaware of the financial situation our country is in.
Probably driving go-karts into fire rings. Just all kinds of problems. Poor kid. I feel bad for him. Hey, Andrew, what's your...
Okay, so my frustrating moment is also out of youth.
Hey!
As a youth. What do you know? Anyway, so I was playing this game that's pretty famous for being terrible. Not terrible as much as frustrating. I was playing a little game called Battletoads. For those of you at home who don't know, this was made by Rare, which now that made GoldenEye and all the good 64 games pretty much. But anyway, so they made this game, but what makes this game so infamous is that the third level is impossible to beat.
Like literally impossible, or just
it is it's almost impossible. The only way to do it is if you memorize the entire thing. Because you're on like a jet ski, and like things come flying at you and you have to like dodge it. But you have to memorize like 3 minutes worth of different like jumps and ramps and holes you have to go through.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is incredibly hard.
It's really, really difficult.
I've never played it, so
like you can't just sit down like, oh, I'm gonna beat this. Well, it's like a fight. It's like a beat 'em up game. Like Final Fight.
What comes after the third level?
Nobody knows.
Very few people know. Definitely not someone as young as I. But anyway, so I was playing this part, a little frustrated. I think I rented it from the Blockbuster Video.
Yes!
And so I rented because my parents would always let me rent a video game every time they rented a movie because they loved me.
Or they didn't want you to ruin their movie.
That was probably the more likely, but I wasn't going to, open that womb. Anyway, so I'm playing it, and it's only a 3-day rental, and it's the third day, and I'm like, I gotta freaking beat this level. And here's the thing, though. Like, I memorized it, and I beat it. And I was so stoked. I'm running around the room. As I am running around the room, I kick the console and pull it right out of the television and turns it off immediately. There was no saving back then. And so I was just so upset. I'm like, burn the game. I am done. This is not happening again. I was so upset. It was just, I was inconsolable. It was just, anyway, so I never played it again.
Dude, that third level is a killer. I remember it. I totally do. Did you ever play Battletoad and Double Dragons?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
See, I think that's the starting point.
Yeah.
If you want to start in Battletoads, start with Battletoads. Is it Battletoads versus Double Dragons?
I think it's just Battletoads and Double Dragons.
Yeah.
Or is it versus?
I think it is versus Double Dragon.
Because you never really...
and Double Dragon.
Yeah, because you never fight each other. You just can just choose whether to be the Double Dragon.
Right. Golly. Yeah. The thing I remember most about this game, about Battletoads, is that my friend had a lime, like almost pistachio green, lime green joystick that he would use to play this game. And one time my mom came in and she had a bowl of pudding. And she's like, hey, this is a new pudding. You want to try it? And I was all, okay. So she dips the spoon in it and hands it to me. And it's like the same color as that controller. And I'm like, what is this? Is this like Ninja Turtle flavor? And she's like, no, it's pistachio. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I try it and it didn't taste like pistachio. It tasted like a shoe, like the inside of an old man's shoe. It was disgusting and it made me want to vomit so hard. And every time I saw my friend's green joystick, I'd get queasy. And so I just couldn't even do anything, no gaming with him anymore. And it was while playing Battletoads.
Yeah, there's a reason why they don't make Battletoad games anymore.
It's probably that reason.
Yeah, it's
that reason alone.
Pistachio colored game controllers.
So gross. Oh, well, all right. That's it. That's a show. Thanks for listening. Remember, your ratings fuel us. Go to 3g3q.co/rate and leave your reviews. You can subscribe to receive new episodes the moment they're released by going to 3g3q.co/subscribe. We'd also love to hear from you. If you have any feedback from this episode, hit us up. Send us some follow-up.
Yeah, I'd be interested to hear what frustrating moments other people had with their video games.
Yeah, that would be fun. I want to hear about that. Or what game you think you're really good at.
I'll play you in it and I will beat you. And then we'll never play again.
Yeah, any of these questions.
Yeah, any of these questions. We want to hear your answers. Hey, where can people get a hold of you? Where can people send those things?
Oh, yeah, send it to me on Twitter. I'm at @A_Sav. I'm there most of the day.
Between the hours of...
waking and sleeping.
Between the hours of 11 a.m.
No, I wake
11 p.m.
I've been awake since 6:45. I'm very tired.
I slept in until 5 today.
Oh, hey.
Like PM?
No. Adam, where can people get a hold of you?
I can be found on Twitter playing mind games at @AdamKid.
And I am on Twitter at AaronLMGoodwin. And I'm playing word games. Mostly involving puns.
Much more benevolent.
Something. I don't know if it's benevolent. It's pretty torturous to watch. That's it. All right.
Hey.
Other than that, I just want to say goodbye to all you fine people. I want you to remember that it's Bernstein Bears. I also want you to remember that GoldenEye 64 was the pinnacle of the first-person shooter. And I also want you to remember that the most depressing place on this whole earth is the side room to a gym daycare. Other than that, I want you to remember to question everything. Welcome to 3 Guys, 3 Questions, where 3 friends test the limits of propriety through the questions we ask. Today is a very special day, and it's all about video games, and this is episode 2 of season 5. I forgot to change the thing on the... What should I say? Today is, because I want to stop saying the date, if that makes sense.
But you still want to say today is.
Yeah. Today is
Laundry day.
today is laundry day. All right, let me start over from the top.
Okay.
Should it be gaming themed though? Like today is shut the blinds, turn off the lights.
What's like a Nintendo Expo? Is that what it's called? From the Wizard?
I don't even remember.
That event called?
Oh, the Nintendo. It's like a World Championship or something like that. Let me see.
Yeah. Yeah, Nintendo World Championships.
Yeah.
Okay. Today, there's a Wikipedia. Okay. Let's start it over again, and here we go. Oh, wait, I gotta write it down. Do you say the Nintendo World Championships?
I don't know. It's not in the usage manuals. It's not something
I think you
Strunk
say
and White
the
were concerned with.
because it's a title. Okay,